Ladies and gentlemen, to the Mike O'Mara Show. We've had a bit of weather here in the D.C. area, so please say hi to the Mike O'Mara Show's staff meteorologist, non-committal. Hi,
Hey, hoddly-doddly-die. Hi, how are you?
How you been?
Hey, great. Let me say a big hello to number one little kid fan, Maya Ronick, who's out there listening right now. Hey, Maya Ronick. Great to see you.
Is she one of your weather watchers?
She's one of the non-committal weather watchers around the area. And slate gray skies with Gabriel's tears as we enjoy the drizzle out here in the Washington area. And whoa, aren't we lucky dodging a bullet? It could be a lot worse.
Well, you said last night rain, and this morning there was snow.
Oh, sure. Uh-huh.
But you said rain.
Yeah, well, rain, wintry mix, snow, little something, a mixed bag. A mixed bag. That's what we got for you right here in the water. Yeah, well, not really. You know, I mean, I like to make sure that everybody enjoys the weather and prepares for the weather. Yes. So watch out for that mixed bag. Could be worse. You could be up north. Well, the Northeast is going to get whacked.
We are part of the Northeast.
and non-committal, what should we prepare ourselves
for?
Well,
in the D.C. area, it looks like we're going to have a little bit of rain, maybe some snow in the higher elevations with just a little mixed bag on the eastern shore. Heavy rain on some of the areas of the eastern shore. And usually this weekend, look for Saturday and Sunday to be out.
I'm sorry?
Don't worry about it. Anyway, non-committal
so
with your forecast. Boy, is that Northeast going to get hammered.
But we are in the Northeast.
Yeah, we're in the North. I'm talking about the Northeast.
But yeah, so am I.
I mean, I'm talking about the Northeast.
Okay,
the one Northeast, north of where you are.
Okay, so I'm in Leesburg.
You're the Mid-Atlantic.
Okay.
You're the Mid-Atlantic, Northern Virginia corridor.
So we're in the clear then.
Oh, let's not get crazy. Yeah. But it really looks like you ought to be prepared for winter weather all the way along the eastern seaboard. Philadelphia all the way up into the Maine area.
Right.
Would it be safe to say we should be prepared for winter weather throughout the winter?
Absolutely. And as the groundhog said, we might not get a full winter.
Yeah, might be an early spring.
Non-committal here.
Do you buy into that groundhog stuff?
Oh, yeah. No, sure no. Yeah, right.
So, I live in Leesburg.
Beautiful area. Lots of Civil War history in Leesburg and beautiful springs and falls.
Quit it.
Okie dokie.
We had a wintry glaze this morning when I woke up.
A wintry glaze.
And
God's glazed donut is leaving a little crusty ice and slush around the feet.
But as I drove into Manassas,
it
was almost non-existent.
Sure.
So does that involve the rain-snow line?
I don't think so, yes. Yes, Oscar.
What are your thoughts on the weather bug?
The weather bug. Oh, boy, that's a really
Sounds like you have the weather bug.
I'll tell you, I remember when I was a baby meteorologist in the Oklahoma City area, and I stayed at a motel for about the first 6 weeks of my employment. Yeah. Boy, did I get some weather bugs then.
I bet you did. Yeah.
Who would have thought that down the road we'd have a big bed bug scare in the United States? I experieed those in Oklahoma City.
You were on the leading edge of that.
I sure did. They're nasty stuff. And, of course, weather conditions can contribute to the proliferation of the bugs.
Where does the Mid-Atlantic start to be the Northeast?
Oh, sure. Right around that Baltimore, Maryland, Delaware, D.C. area.
So you've just given me like 400 miles.
Oh, have I now? Well, I guess I have. Well, I guess if you get out a map, I could probably show it to you. We'll talk about it later. How's that? Does that sound good? Oh, I jiggled my camera.
Don't kick your camera now.
Who is El Nino?
El Nino is the boy that the phenomenon known as the El Nino weather formation was named after. El Nino, the little boy. The boy phenomenon.
Is he one of your weather watchers?
Well, no, we've got an El Nino down in, certain areas of Manassas. I've got several El Nino weather watchers, but we don't want to confuse El Nino with La Chica.
No, of course not.
There's the La Chica, and then there are the Santa Ana winds, which blow like hell. I said a bad word.
No,
sorry.
You're
fire
fine.
me.
Are you going to, before this month is out, do your famous weather award, the Golden Waffle?
Absolutely. The Golden Waffle will be presented to one of my weather watchers all along the network that gives me the most proper information that I can get from schools and neighborhoods. And
Are the Moody's still checking in with you?
I'd like to say a big weather watcher salute to Barb and Chuck Moody, who are standing by out at their flat out in Herndon and do a marvelous job. I'd like to say a special hello to Barb Hush Puppy Moody, who really each and every day gets me the kind of information like how much rain we've got, the barometric pressure, such and seas.
How's the visibility?
Visibility right now is fine. Yeah, about a mile to 10.
It's so cloudy out there. I can't imagine.
Somewhere, but lots of flight cancellations. Yes. I know you're going to have that fella Marcus Serta. He's a pal.
Yeah, you like him?
From Burlington, Vermont.
Right.
Yeah, Marcus actually stays at my condo when he comes down from Vermont.
Is he a weather watcher?
He's a tapioca watcher. Boy, does that boy like pudding. He sure does. And I fill up committal pudding barrels for him.
Whatever
that means.
Mock committals
Ma Committal's homemade tapioca. There is nothing that you better wrap your tonsils around. You know, with just a little piece of cornbread, there's the surprise edition. That'll make for a delicious dinner. Now, what were you going to say, Buzz?
That's a good on a golden waffle.
Easy for you to say.
Indeed.
That's your forecast. Let's check out and see what's happening where you live.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at www.mikeomarashow.com.
Stay tuned for an outstanding entertainment program.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
I am a good person, and sometimes good people don't get no respect. Rodney Dangerfield. Hey, I don't get no respect. No respect at all. When I was in the sandbox as a kid, I got no respect. My wife likes to talk after sex. So she called me from a hotel room. Said, I don't respect you. Thoughtless. You know what don't get no respect? Airplane food. Why don't they just make the plane out of the airline food? My wife don't get no respect. So take her, please, for example. If you don't get no respect, you might be a redneck. Respect is nice. What's the deal with grape nuts? No grapes, no nuts. I don't get no respect.
Coming to you live from Mike O'Mara's living room studio in the historic radio district of Manassas, Virginia, a bustling suburb of the nation's capital. It's the Mike O'Mara Show, featuring Buzz Burbank with Rob Spiewak and Oscar Santana. And now, from his couch, here's Mike.
Live from the Cappy Pfeiffer Studios. This is the Mike O'Mara Show, downloaded worldwide 17 million times and powered by Encore Insurance. We're at MikeO'MaraShow.com, 102.9 FM WTNT in D.C., and the mighty 1630 KCJJ in Iowa. Yeah. Today is Friday, Feb 8, 2013, and we are brought to you by Shatty's Berries.
You know what about them? They taste so good.
Sherry's berries are the best, and 'tis the season. If I haven't alerted you before, next week is Valentine's Day, or as Mrs. Scotto said, Valentine's Day.
I hate her.
A mistake she's made since she was a toddler, and because she's the matriarch of the Scotto family on the Today Show, nobody's grabbed her and said, "You stupid cow."
She's coddled, Mike.
Right.
She's coddled. She was raised by bad people.
But I digress.
Bad people.
Yes.
Your friends, and her friends more importantly, will be impressed when they see what you got her for Valentine's Day, and that means more attention for you.
You know what we could send?
And really, in our society, isn't it all about you?
You know what we could send Mrs. Scotto for Valentine's Day?
Valentine's Day?
Starberries.
Starberries. Send her giant, freshly dipped Sherry's Starberries. We love them. Get white milk or dark chocolate with swizzles, nuts, or chocolate chips. Prices start at just $19.99. We've all had them on the show. You've heard us talk about them. It's a great deal, and you get double your berries for $10 more. Save over 40% when you use the code TMOS, no matter who your sweetheart is.
That's right.
Whoever may say to you, "I don't care. You don't need to get me anything."
Don't buy that.
That is the lie.
Don't believe
of
it.
Lies.
Don't fall for it.
Yes, it's a manufactured holiday.
It is.
Yes, it's designed for companies like Sherry's Berries, but damn it, you might as well give something good.
Yeah, hop aboard the train.
And they are good.
And the benefit to Sherry's Berries is, she opens and goes, "Oh, that is so sweet," and then you eat them all.
That's right, and they're high in vitamin C.
Save over 40% when you use the code TMOS or either 866-FRUIT-0, 866-FRUIT-0, or when you click the microphone at berries.com. That's berries.com. Click that mic and enter TMOS, a limited time offer. So get on it now.
When?
Now.
Thank you.
We are delighted to have you with us on the program today. A late night triumph in the O'Mara household.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, someone got lucky.
Yes, we fathered another child.
Hey, that's terrific.
A recap of Rob standing at Quench.
Yes, he stood.
Along with Mark Ronick and their lovely assistant Diana Ash. Oscar and I go on a date, and it turns into a threesome. Is it silly to be jealous of the Northeast? Hockey team, my hockey team. Today's baby segment. Facebook and the English language. The TMOS players. Rob, I might have to share. Did you give me those things I printed out this morning, Mark? Because I want to do
Did you write a playlet?
Oh, I just want to do kind of an improv playlet with you.
Oh, good.
Based on a news story. We might get to that. We might not.
I love to perform, and I especially like to do the act with you.
And the Bush family emails are hacked. What do we start with today? Let's start with Quench, shall
good,
we?
yeah.
Last night, the big appearance for Rob Spiewak and Mark Ronick at Quench in Rockville, Maryland, and you guys had a good time, as you always do, with trivia.
It was great.
The only intel I have gotten
Yes.
is that halfway through the performance, you lost half your audience. Or you lost all of your audience.
No, not all.
Or you
No,
lost some of your audience.
We started out gangbusters when we were playing America's favorite team trivia game, Mike.
Quench for Nelly.
The crowd was a nice big crowd, and they were
that
involved.
that area of Rockville, Maryland.
Classic Rockville, Mike.
It's my impression when I was out there.
Yes.
And you were giving the A material. You had started the program. Yes, you were sitting down, but you had started the program and
Why
were,
you got to say that?
because I noticed it.
It's a fact.
But
And you
we
were rock
fixed
and
it.
rolling. And there's this cute, hot little lady, and you've given her all her little cards.
Cards.
And she's a team member.
Right.
And you ask a question, and suddenly there they all are putting their coats on, and just right in like the middle of your shtick,
Yeah.
walking out
That's
the door.
rude. That's-
Now,
that's
like
rude.
any comedian,
that is
and especially
painful.
in an intimate gathering like that,
It is. It's more of a bistro than a club.
and perhaps this is what
true.
makes me a less professional performer.
Right.
I have not always taken kindly to that
No,
behavior.
even if you-
and if I have a microphone in my hand,
You'll call
I
them out.
perhaps send them a little greeting on their way out the door.
It is, even if you ignore it and you are totally above it, it still sticks in your craw when
Yes.
someone leaves in the middle of a thing. You
So
don't
what-
want
I have,
anyone
an
to leave.
I have an observation about
See,
that. though.
Buzz was there.
I was.
You came by last night?
for the first half, and I think.
Oh, what you came? You didn't even hang with my guys.
Well,
that's you though.
They took a break. If they had kept going, I might not have
Oh,
left.
the break
and
meant it was over.
and
No, it didn't.
No. I'm trying to make a point here that I think could be helpful, could help improve the event, and
Oh,
that is
sorry, I'll sit back.
maybe start it just a little bit earlier.
Well,
Yeah.
let's.
I think
let's-
Buzz is right.
Take us through the whole thing.
Okay, we
before
got
we
there.
all pass judgment, which we will.
Oh, or already have.
I'm so
talking-
excited because I'm going to be vindicated by the judgment.
We're talking about
Not
Quench
going
for
to be.
Knowledge at the Quench restaurant in Rockville, Maryland. Last night, it's Mark and Rob's monthly appearance that you do out.
And you know, it's funny. We've got 6 people in the living room studio this morning. 4 of us were there.
Yes, Marcus Serta is here from Burlington, Vermont. He is the host of Omericast. And Marcus, good to have you with us.
Thank you very much.
So great to have him here.
I love to hear Marcus's voice.
They'll have the countdown
Hey, I'm
later
jealous.
in the show.
Sounds more like a DJ than we do.
And now it's
Marcus,
time for our long distance
Marcus
dedication.
a long time ago said, we're not doing This Week in America. I'd love to do a show based on the Mike O'Mara show. And we said, yeah, rock and roll, go for it. I listened to it. It is a wonderful show. It's a great recap of some of the stuff we do. It's great to get kind of behind the scenes
I love that
about what we do.
he involves our head listeners, our P1s.
Right.
He interviews
Does
one
that.
every week, and I
He
love
has
that.
members of the show on, and Marcus, you do a fantastic job. And it's good to have you.
Marcus, I've never listened, but I'll be on this week's show. I will be.
You've never heard him?
No.
He actually hear that kind of that DJ.
Well, that's the first time I heard his voice.
Well,
I said, wow, you sound great.
He's got a good radio
Yeah.
voice.
What's going to happen?
Thank you.
He's going to Skype Oscar, and the first question will be: have you ever listened to the show?
Now, Marcus, I tried to get on the show like a couple of months ago.
Yes.
And
You got bumped?
No, we just cross signals a lot. He's a pain in the ass to
Maybe
get
he
in touch
double
with.
booked you.
No, Mike got bumped for
No,
Ben
wait a
Levin.
minute.
Well, you're just it was difficult. It was problematic. Well, I don't remember what it was.
I think it's already been indicated on this program that you have difficulty outputting information to others.
Oh,
No! Wow. Hey, it's nice to have him in your living room, isn't it?
No.
Welcome to the house.
No, I
Don't
I
hold
simply,
back.
I know
Jerk.
it was a two-way street. We both screwed up with.
Yes. We both had complicated lives at that time.
Right?
There was medical situations going on, things of that nature, so we were unable to connect. But I would absolutely love to have you on the show.
And I really hope.
Too bad you're so busy, Mike.
I hope that hernia surgery, works out for you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So I will commit to you that I will be on your show sometime in the year 2013 or 14.
That's fair.
The next 2
Thank-
calendar years.
Thanks,
All right,
non-committal.
Yeah.
I'd like to do that. So anyway, let's get back to Quench.
Yes.
And find out exactly what happened with you boys. Because Marcus was there, Buzz was there. You have witnesses. You have eyewitnesses.
Yes, and they can back us up.
Yes.
I think it went off very well. We had new categories. The audience at the beginning of the trivia was very engaged. They were great participants. There was good personalities out there. The bartenders and servers played along,
Yes.
which
Yeah,
was
that
fun.
was fun. That was fun.
Now,
Really
Mark,
did
you
enjoy it.
will chime in here because you're a witness this too.
Sure.
Rob kind of runs the show, and you kind of do the technical stuff, and you're out there, and you do a little chatting too, right?
I try to, yes.
I'd like to involve him.
Well,
Try to.
well, the problem is that one of the microphones obviously is occupied by Rob. The other one is hogged by Diana Ash.
Oh dear.
You see, now the way it works is I will
Yeah.
host and set the table, ask the questions, and then Diana Ash's job is essentially to be Vanna and go table to table and get the answers.
Right,
saw
which
that.
is why she has to hang on to the mic to go table to table. To
I
get
saw that
everybody's
when I
answers.
went out there. It's a
Yeah.
very nicely look.
It's
if
a
you're-
nice format when it works.
If you're going to a trivia night at a restaurant, I mean, and you're having some drinks, and
Yeah.
it's a Thursday night.
Fun.
I couldn't think of anything better. You just sit there. They come to you with the microphone. All you have to do is raise your hand.
Right,
Right.
right.
Well, no, we have a whiteboard. You know, everyone logs in and does a whiteboard.
Of course.
They lock in their answers because it's
You have
team
to lock
trivia.
in-
Mike.
you have to lock in your
It's
answers.
team trivia.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And it goes well, but one of the most important things about it, and by the way, I will say this, and I'm not kissing up.
You're a game show nerd, is what
Standing up was huge.
It was.
And you
It
loaned
was great.
you loaned me your copy stand, and it really, really made the night. It was
Thank
Made
you.
a huge difference.
very, very good. Because all the chairs at Quench are about 4 inches off the ground.
And you're Rob Spiewak.
I am.
And you're doing what you're doing. Yes, you're hosting a trivia night.
Right.
But you do shtick. You make fun
It's
of people.
presence.
So it is kind of a stand-up
Yeah.
act. And it's an activity. When I came there and you're like, sitting down. So
Well,
it
there
worked-
really wasn't any of that.
He was
That's-
he quite took on the appearance of a game show host by having that stand.
Yes.
Rob and I'm as guilty as Rob, would be more than. There's a reason why when we do our live show, we bring the living
bring
room
the set.
to the stage because we are most comfortable.
That's right.
And most relaxed when we are seated.
That's right.
In comfortable furniture.
And also, I've been advised from many people in the medical community, it's healthier for us
Yes.
to keep our heart rate down. And while there's no
Well, safer,
impending
really.
danger,
Right.
why rock the boat?
Right.
So, did you feel with the music stand and all your copy and your questions standing up? Did you feel like you were doing more of a show?
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
Yeah, and it was
That's
great.
good.
And
It
it was
looked
great.
like
And so
one.
we're growing in that way. However, as the night progressed, we did about a 70-minute first segment, and then we took a small break because I wanted to encourage people to, get up, get a drink, maybe order a little food, and, mix it up a little bit. When we came back, there was some momentum loss because I do think, even though I was very clear that we were just taking a short break and we would be back, people chose that time to depart.
It's a school night for a lot of people, meaning they have to go to work the next morning. And if you take the break after 10 p.m. on a school night, that you're going to lose some people. If maybe we started the evening a little earlier, then maybe you wouldn't lose them so much at the break.
So what I'm thinking is
Having
maybe
been,
we
I just
start-
wanted to interrupt
Okay,
you.
of
Having
course.
been a bar owner,
Bar.
there's only one thing that will ensure no one takes that break.
What's that?
You gotta stack your deck. The only thing you're gonna have guys.
Oh, you got to pivot to a DJ or something.
You gotta have guys and women, and it has to be. If you're going to get people after 11 o'clock at night, you got to have kind of a meat market.
interesting.
Buzz would,
Understood.
if you were sitting there and there were like 15 hot women in the joint, you wouldn't have
I
left.
wouldn't have gone
No.
anywhere.
You wouldn't have gone in, and no guy will.
I
No guy,
can't,
yeah.
no guy from 21
You're right.
to 61 will do that.
Yeah.
If you're with a group of guys and you see
good, I'm in
hot
that
women,
group.
you're not going to leave. Used to be our formula at O'Mara's before they all left.
Very clever.
Yes,
I
before
like
they
it.
all left.
Where'd
Before
they
the
leave-
cocaine
where'd-
ran out.
Where'd they leave to?
What's that?
Where'd they go?
Where do the people
hot
go?
women go.
The hot women were never at this type of function because it's kind of like a cerebral deal. It's not a meat market environment. If you can arrange to bring in like the Red Skinettes all night,
Yeah.
Yes.
but it's hard. Getting hot women is a challenge,
It's
and that's
tough.
why it's
You have to
challenge
pay.
about it. It's a challenge for nightclubs.
And
have to
amazingly, it's not what I draw the best.
Right.
I don't-
So getting back to what you said, since you're not going to have beautiful women that
Right.
come to Quench.
Sure,
Don't get me
sure.
wrong.
And they were. They
But
were.
if you're going to have a non-meat marketplace, because it's a restaurant, it's a watering
Right.
hole,
Yes.
it's a nice place.
We're there to play
classy
trivia,
joint.
yeah.
You started early, like
I
Doug
have
suggested.
another suggestion.
Okay.
And this is look. I think you guys do an amazing job. And as a game show host, I don't know anyone that does it better than you, Rob.
Yeah, Rob's
Very
great.
nice. Thank you.
I will, but 70 minutes,
Great.
maybe that's enough of Rob. You know.
Wow.
Could be. That could be. And you know
sets
what?
the table, doesn't he? He just butters you up.
Maybe he's right, but
and then he leaves the toaster
the
on
whole,
a really long time.
The whole purpose of doing it is to make people stay.
Yes.
Right, and make them order more drinks
Yeah.
and order. I don't want to pull the curtain back too far.
Right.
But if we're just going to do, 35, 60 minutes of trivia, then go to canned music, what's the value of doing it at all?
Marcus Serta, who has disciplined himself and is
Ooh.
trying
Look at him.
so hard.
Look at him.
because Marcus could be talking this whole time
Chopping
as
at the
well.
bit.
Have you ever sat in a room and just stayed quiet?
Marcus has something to say. Go ahead, Marcus.
I just want to say, I mean, last night the presentation was professional. It was perfect. It was on par.
Thank you.
But you are not going to attract the crowd that Mike is talking about, those 20-somethings, those hot, young...
Well, no, it's
young
not laid
engaging-
out like that.
Well, you're not going to engage them with old Queen trivia.
What? How's that?
It's just not going to happen.
I say that I could do Housewives of Beverly Hills trivia all night long, and we still wouldn't draw them. I don't think the kids at that age are drawn to trivia.
I'm not saying for a second that you've got to change what you do. And Oscar will tell you when he does a show with Chad, when we do a show, I was blown away by the number of women that came to Reno.
Sure. Oh, me too.
I truly was very
delightful.
I was very pleased that everybody, but a lot of that, we have to admit, we have to know our following. A lot of those were dates.
Yeah, they're tag-alongs.
A lot of those were dates.
Let me change that. That's drag-alongs.
So, but at the same time, I'm thinking, even as a married guy who's 53 years old, if I'm going out for a Thursday night, which is rare for me to go out on a weeknight now, I just don't do it like I used to.
Exactly.
I'm gonna come out to see you. It'll be a lot of fun, but in order to, what time do you wrap it up?
Last night we had about 11:10, 11:15.
I totally agree with Buzz. I think
Buzz,
that ought
you've got
to
a
be.
great
Rob and I talked about that.
That ought to be. What time do you start?
We start at 8:30. I'm thinking
Actually, we started at 9 last night.
But we
I'd
said
start
8
at 7:30 and I would end at 9:30.
7:30 to 9:30.
Absolutely, go home so you don't have to have that moment. Do the happy hour.
And
deal.
when people walk by or they come in, they're going to see something's going on.
That's
and
true.
then
Right. That's
party
true.
and then hang
Right.
until 11.
Right.
Or not.
Right.
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
Or go home.
Or go home. Or get in your car and leave.
It's a pretty lengthy commute for me.
So you took a break?
Yeah, just a short
Okay.
break. And we've done that in the
That's
past.
legit. But if the break was over before 10 and you were back into segment 2 before 10, then you'd be fine.
Yeah.
I
But
think.
if you do 7:30 to 9:30,
Yeah, I think that's
and
good.
the break can be
Also
just all right.
works.
We're going to come back and just take a drink
How long
break
was
or a
the
bathroom
break?
10, 15?
Yeah, something like that.
See, when I used to have my band, I was like the laziest band in the world. We would do like 30-minute sets with 40-minute breaks.
well, that was over the course of a long evening.
It helps
no,
stretch. It helps stretch the material.
I did 3 sets. I did 3 45-minute sets, actually.
Okay.
When I had the band, I did 3 45-minute sets.
Over the course of a weekend.
No, actually, that was when we were really.
That's a lot.
That's when
That's a lot.
that's when my arms were in shape.
That's a lot of
Oh,
songs.
yeah.
That's a lot of drumming.
That is.
So what else happened, Mark?
Well, there was the other situation that.
Are you Mark? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I know. I'm joking.
That you
I'm
are.
joking.
That's fine.
All right, guy, what I was just going to get your
Well,
perspective on things.
Buzz was questioning when I said Diana was being a hog with the microphone.
Yeah.
Oh dear, that's a very strong
It was harsh,
word.
I
for
thought.
that. Lovely
You're
young
right,
lady.
Buzz, that her objective is to go around the room with the microphone and
Right.
ask everybody to give their answers. However, when there were times, for example, she came to me and said, I have to go use the bathroom, little potty. And
She says that on microphone.
no, she came to me.
See, that would attract more people if she did.
Yeah.
and that's very
Buzz knows
true.
that.
Wow, I have
Or
about
big
6.
potty.
I have about 6 questions I could ask about that.
Buzz may be the oldest guy in the room, but he knows.
He does.
He knows the rules about.
Yes, he does. And so Rob was there by himself talking to the crowd and everything. So I figured I'd help him while he was padding. And we actually had a great exchange.
You
and
do?
then she ran over when she came out of that bathroom because she heard me on the mic and snatched it from me.
Oh dear!
And
Yeah,
said,
she's-
"This
no.
is my microphone."
She's very eager for.
I see.
For
So
the
now I know
attention.
where you're coming from.
And Mark may be the business manager of this show, but at his core, deep in his heart, he is a performer.
Yes.
Yes.
So that's what he loves to
He's
do.
not.
I do
He's
enjoy it.
not.
So
He's not a
snatching-
quench. He's not a quench because he wants to make sure the appearance goes well.
But he's but snatching the microphone out of anyone's hand that likes a microphone in
Yes.
their hand occasionally is not a good thing.
I
to
know
do.
this is a
So-
radical concept. What about 3 microphones?
You want to buy the third? Feel
maybe.
free. Okay.
Well, we have microphones here that we can take with you, right? I mean, can't we? You use this one.
No.
Either one more microphone or one less person.
You see, this also works.
Oh, dear.
Oh boy, Diana Ash is definitely.
You see,
rubbing you
I
the
think
wrong
one
way.
of the most important things.
The guy with
anytime,
glasses or the woman with breast? Which will it be? I don't know.
Anytime you're doing
what
a
adds more value is
presentation,
what you're saying?
and you know what, we need to draw in women, Buzz. I'm not
Yes,
so sure
that's
that's
true.
helping. The
yeah,
thing
but
is,
here's the thing, and I'm getting back to the old bar business.
Right.
Women bring women.
Yes.
Yes.
Women beget women.
Haven't seen it.
beget.
The thing is that the most important thing, and I appreciate what you said about a professional presentation. All of that is nonsense.
So
if you lose momentum
with all of this gum flapping going on, was it a good night or a bad night?
It was fun. I played as a contestant on a team,
but everybody
left.
Fun.
Not everybody.
No, about half the crowd left
that's
during
absurd.
halftime.
That's unacceptable.
It's sad. It's unfortunate.
So 10 o'clock, they're out the door.
Yeah, but we're going to fix that. But
Well,
all
after.
I'm saying is that if anything is working against the game's momentum, that is an element that needs to be examined.
I think a 7:30 start. You'd prefer a 7:30 start.
I'd prefer a noon start. But 7 is fine, yes.
What were you going to say, Oscar?
We could threaten explosives if they leave early.
How does the fire... I don't know Maryland. How does the fire marshal feel about locked doors?
Doesn't enjoy that.
And now, how was the rest of the evening? Food and
always
drink?
fantastic.
Food was always good?
Drinks are great. The service is the best there.
Is it Chantel, my favorite
She was
waitress
there.
out
Oh,
there?
yes.
Yeah, she
As long as they
actually-
have her working there, that place is going to be
She
okay.
cocked her hand on her hip and said, "And where's Mike at?"
Okay.
Yeah.
So we need
Yeah.
you out there
Lady.
again soon.
She's awesome.
She's great.
She's fantastic.
But what we're getting at back to Diana Ash.
Yes.
Oh, God, Mark.
Do you guys want to fire her?
Well, how do you fire someone for a job that they're not being paid for?
She's a volunteer.
The problem that I saw,
Yes.
because I was just the scorekeeper.
That's all.
And the problem is that every time Rob was ready to go to the crowd for their answers, Diana was not to be found. She was usually sitting at a table, lounging and relaxing and socializing.
What we ask of her is not really skilled labor. And last night, particularly in
this
the
is gonna
second
get
part
bad.
of the evening, there was a slacking attitude.
Do you hear those bones breaking as Diana Ash is thrown under the bus by not one but two people?
I wasn't
How do
expecting this.
how do you explain that it's me throwing her under the bus?
Well, it just sounds like both of you are throwing her under the bus.
I see.
And and it's a voluntary position.
It
She
is.
does it for free.
It is.
Out of love for this show.
Well, this is
and
true.
love for you two guys.
There was some love for us.
That's right. What else?
If the Super Bowl halftime show can handle 800 volunteers putting that stage together in 8 minutes,
That's right.
You think two grown men can talk to a 25-year-old and tell her what to do?
You would
would
think.
think.
You would think. But about three quarters
what?
through the evening, when I said for the 100th time, "Who are we going to go to now, Diana?"
Oh dear. Oh, so
no. Here we
so,
go.
So
And
the,
do I exaggerate?
No, you don't
so
exaggerate.
the sexy has been replaced by frustration over the
There was
performance.
sexual frustration.
How about what was she? Was she wearing something attractive?
She, as
Yes.
always, looked
great.
fantastic.
that showed
Gorgeous.
off her curves.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so she was looking good.
Yes.
And are you going to give her a second chance?
That's up to
or-
Rob.
We shall see.
How about this?
Wow. Double secret probation.
Why don't we address this on the air and we'll do kid gloves and we say, look, a pretty
Sure.
face isn't going to get you everywhere. You have to work.
I don't necessarily know if I want to hop on the misogyny train with a conversation
Plenty
with
of room,
Diana,
Mike.
Diana Ash.
Plenty of room.
I prefer to go the cowardly route and leave it all up to Rob Spiewak.
Oh, no.
And if Rob decides to make a change, well, whenever you make a change, you got to replace somebody.
That's
so
right.
Perhaps there's a talent search.
That's-
that could even spot.
Marcus, how do you look in a dress?
Perfect. Nothing like a fat guy in a dress.
Hey, have you ever cross-dressed?
I can't tell you how much that's not going to happen. All right. We'll take a break and come back with more fun and more thrills on the Mike O'Mara Show. Ladies and gentlemen, this next commercial I'm going to share with you is a tough commercial for me to read. And let me tell you why. It's the opening line.
Okay.
The opening line of the Score Big copy says
Yes.
to me, it's a great time of year for live sports.
Yes.
And I give you that. It is.
Sure.
We've got basketball. We've got college basketball.
March
Coming up
Madness
on March
coming up.
Madness.
We've got
right.
March Madness just around the corner. We have, if you go as far as April, the greatest golf tournament of the year, the Masters is coming. We have baseball starting with spring training.
Lots of
it's
that.
fantastic.
The
And
thing
then
about the Masters, Mike, it's a tradition unlike any other.
it is. And Score Big gets you incredible tickets, but
Yes.
I'm here to tell you about hockey.
Ah, yes.
Oh, no, you're going to
Because
derail
I am
those?
so pissed about hockey. See?
That you've called the fire department?
The fire department came by. It's a great time of year for live sports. Maybe you want to take someone special to a concert on Valentine's Day. They've got concert, they've got sports. It's Score Big, and you can save up to 60% off the best tickets here and across the country. Here, if it's the Capitals, maybe not so much.
Yeah.
No.
And I'm not talking about Score Big. I'm talking about the past. The Capitals suck!
If you're in D.C., go to Disney on Ice.
Every ticket on scorebig.com is
That's
below.
what I call the Capitals now.
It's below box office price, and there are never any fees. Stop wasting your money. No matter what team or show you want to see, go to scorebig.com, enter the code TMOS, and get an extra $15 off your first order. That's on top of your up to 60% savings. There is no better place to get tickets to the event than at Score Big, and you will never pay box office prices again.
Never.
Go to scorebig.com and use the code TMOS. And I kid because I love, but boy, I mean, having
They're good, aren't they?
rooting for a professional sports team that is your favorite, one of only two teams that are professionals that you root for passionately.
Right.
I have the Boston Red Sox and I have the Washington Capitals. They're the two sports I love to watch, and they're the two sports that I care about, and they're the two teams I care about, and they are the land of suck. And I'm beginning to write petulant, tantrum-filled rants on my Facebook page that are like little kids. Last night it was like, this was mine last night, my legitimately angry Facebook message where I said, time to get Ted Leonsis involved. And you know what that means.
You wrote that?
What does that mean?
That means fire the GM.
No,
Right?
I know
Which
what that
I really do
means.
believe they should do. And I wouldn't, even if I was on a sports talker and I had to talk to the GM, I think really this shakeup is cultural with the Washington
And their
Capitals.
GM is Michael Hughes now?
It's McPhee.
Oh, okay.
George McPhee.
Hey, how's your McPhee?
Look, in radio, we've all been the victims of we get months in many cases in
Sure.
the radio. If you're a high-paid radio personality, you get months, and if you don't get ratings traction, you're out of
That's
there.
right. Not even a year.
But the rules don't always apply. You can have CBS with their news station that has been, 21st, 22nd, sometimes 32nd in the ratings, and they last and last because
It's still on?
the head honcho at CBS
Had made that
thought
decision.
it's a good decision, and so then you survive for like 15 years.
Oh, and
it
also
doesn't matter.
it's cheap to do.
But I mean, the bottom line is all things
Pet
play
idea,
into it.
pet idea.
My point being that there's accountability in sports, and there's accountability in media, and there's
Some.
the Washington Capitals have had this same administration for many, many years, and they have had success.
Yeah,
but in the last 6 years, they have not had the kind of success that, it's been declining success with their star. And so my point is, you got the same type of guys, and the type of guys I'm talking about in hockey are not gritty guys. They're not guys that seem to really spark the team. And everybody,
Are they dandies?
They're just
Foppish dandies.
they're complacent.
Yes. They're
Great-
not hungry.
Great word. to
They
use for that.
have amazing talent, talent that is superior to many other NHL teams, but they don't work hard.
Okay.
And you have to in hockey. And the fan base in Washington, God love them. If this was Boston and it was hockey, you get
Right.
you get our fans going, well, maybe they'll get it on track.
Go Caps.
It's like, let's go Caps. Caps have I don't want to slam their fans. I get lots of emails about it.
Right.
But the Caps have a pseudo pocket protector fan base that I've always
they're
been
not
confused.
passionate?
Well, the
DC.
thing is,
No,
DC's
they're passionate, but they're kind of
For
like
the wrong reasons.
they're like answer me these questions 3. That's the people that kind of like hockey in this
Well,
area.
that's this area.
It's
it
not
We're
as
a bad
it is.
sports town.
it's not cultural in Boston the same way. It's a different kind of fan base. But it's like I get up in the morning being a Boston New England style fan, and I want to read.
And you're pissed.
I want to read some writers ripping them.
Yeah.
because they deserve to be ripped. I mean, you're paying astronomical
Yeah.
ticket prices to see this team,
And nobody rips them. Nobody in the media
Nobody
rips
rips them.
Yeah.
Because nobody understands the game.
And they're afraid to rip them because the fans are blind followers, not fans because they're good.
That's a fair assessment.
And it really, really drives me nuts because I've been watching this. I have watched every single game this season. I've watched every game they've played, maybe with a period or two that I haven't, paid attention to it. But I'm watching a team that has star. And the difference is you have these players that have played together for 4, 5, 6 years.
Right.
And you dole out 10-year contracts to guys like Alex Ovechkin and Nicholas Backstrom. they're kids,
And that's comfort.
and they're not from this country,
Yeah.
and they're not invested in it. And
They're
I mean,
set. There's
yes,
no
they're
longer-
professional
Yeah.
athletes, but you got a motivation issue.
You're giving them comfort. They have no carrot to
It's
shoot for.
frustrating.
Yeah, I imagine.
And incidentally,
do you still have your website?
Which website?
The Ban the First Game
does.
website?
No, we never got
because
that on
you
the
could
domain.
you could be the angry blogger. You could rip them.
I don't wanna be that guy.
You should be that guy.
I want to
late.
do it in short bursts right here.
He
That's what I want
deletes
to
his
do.
own posts on Facebook.
I do. I
There's
delete
no
my own
commitment
posts.
there.
I do.
I delete some of his posts too.
I do. But incidentally, the reason I'm doing this, you might say, "Oh God, hockey again." I'm sorry. We're the last place team. We're in the NHL, in the entire league,
Comically
in
bad.
the entire league. We are the worst.
Right.
We have the worst record. We are worst in many categories. I think we've given up the most power play
But
goals.
a
It's
great,
ridiculous.
Great arena.
Great. It's a great experience.
It is. It's the best sports experience in town.
It's a wonderful sports experience. I love it, and I love my Caps. And I came to this town and adopted this team 30 years ago, and I really, really love rooting for the Washington Capitals because they're always struggling, it seems. But then we got real hot, and we got this superstar,
Yes.
and to watch these guys that are alleged superstars. Pittsburgh's got superstars.
Sure.
They're playing like superstars, and we have goalies that are both like 13 years old, including Michael Neuvert, who looks really like an 8-year-old girl.
It sounds like something Jerry Lewis would say. Michael Neuvert.
Michael Neuvergensen.
Yeah, lady.
So I just wanted to say, Caps fans, I'm with you. I'm one of your nerd faithful. I bleed Washington Capitals red, white, and blue. I truly do. But I want to see something kaboom. I want to see, this is what I think needs to happen to the Washington Capitals, regardless. And then they talk, another 5-year plan.
Not a terroristic
I'm
threat.
not a big believer in that. I'm a believer you can fix teams in any professional sport. You can have a 2-year plan. And you can accomplish that by bringing young, hungry guys up. You can accomplish it by trades, and you can accomplish it by jettisoning some of these superstars.
You got to
That's my
learn
opinion.
some Zen because I mean, come on. I am from Chicago. I am a Chicago Cubs fan. I'm a Chicago Bears fan. Mm-hmm.
Marcus Cerna's talking right now. If you thought you heard a foreign voice on the show,
I lose all the time. This is just part of the acceptance of these two teams that I love so much.
You don't have to tell him he's a Red Sox fan.
yeah. Well, I mean, Cubbies fans can talk.
Yeah.
As a Cubs fan, you can talk.
You just play him off.
I was trying to.
I can't get no satisfaction. No, listen, I'm a Red Sox fan, dude. I had it I grew up before, I was in my 40s before the Red Sox won a World Series.
Well, congratulations, because we've won none.
I know, but the fact is, I understand where you're coming from. I'm saying that right now that this is playoffs 3 years in a row? Maybe
Playoffs?
at least 2 years in a row. This is blowing it in the playoffs. This is not just this season.
Oh, I get it.
This is long
What's
suffering.
worse? What's worse? Not making the playoffs or getting to the playoffs and blowing it badly?
Every time.
There are many different ways sports to
How do you
teams in
feel?
playoffs.
How do you feel?
I love getting to the playoffs because I want to see one great playoff series.
Right.
So, as long as they get there, I don't want to give up and say don't get to the playoffs because the playoffs are a crapshoot and you always have a chance.
Right.
I mean, I love we're having this conversation. One, the Blackhawks are doing great. So you can't go
Blackhawks
wrong.
are fantastic.
And then
right now,
two,
And that's a great franchise.
What's
I mean,
that
really,
like?
a great hockey baby. If the Blackhawks are sucking, you're going to have a culture of sports writers in Chicago
Yeah.
that will get chainsaws out.
Sure.
That's
Yes.
the culture that is in New York, in Boston,
We need
in
that
Chicago.
here.
In the
We're
good
like
sports town.
we have a bunch of bald guys that
Caps.
write for the Washington Post that are like, and women
What's up with that?
that write about the Capitals.
Here we go.
I'm sorry, that was
Send
terrible.
your letters to Mike O'Mara.
Misogyny train.
Yeah, he's not on the train.
Let me just.
Didn't
switch
you
gears.
love Lindsay Zarniak?
Huh? I love Lindsay
Well,
Zarniak.
sure.
Oh, on TV, I think
Yeah.
it's fantastic.
Oh,
Beat
now.
writers, whatever.
I want to add that.
Hi, Leslie Visser.
This all being said, Mike would like at least 3 tickets to Saturday's game. The
Two
Cavs game.
will do me.
Two?
Two
or three?
If I can get 2 tickets to
Yeah.
Saturday's game, that would be
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. Tomorrow
But I'm
would
not
be.
paying now.
Tomorrow.
Right.
I'm not paying.
Why should you?
I'll pay face value.
They're
Tomorrow.
not that
No.
good.
I'll pay face value.
No, you shouldn't have to.
All right, I won't.
Face.
But no, I don't want to go anymore.
Throw in a
I really,
snowblower.
I watched that Pittsburgh game. Throw it as well. I wanted to go, and now I don't want to go.
You
They're
want to
so-
go.
No, they're so bad.
That's all you were
Oscar.
talking about at dinner last night.
5 to
I was
2.
talking about going to the game
Yes.
with Elizabeth.
That was before they lost 5-2 last night.
What I like is that my youngest, my angel Elizabeth, likes hockey and talks hockey, and
That's cool.
actually knows a little bit about and with
She's a
no
woman. Huh.
with no pushing. Yes, she is a woman.
But she's not writing.
She is a wonder.
No, thank God she's not a beat writer.
Right, leave
She's
me
just
alone.
talking.
Leave me alone.
Will she be allowed to blog?
Hey, can I say one thing about a wonderful woman? And I apologize for my previous sexist comment. Ren Mulberry is an exquisite friend of this show.
The best.
And Ren, thank you for your lovely Valentine for the show. We appreciate that, and thank you so much for your support. You're very sweet to do that, and we care about you. And really, we love all our fans, but there's certain people that get the joke. Ren is in that at the top of that list as far as people that get the joke. Always a pleasure to see her, and always a pleasure to share a venue with her when we're doing a live event. And she sent us a very nice card, and we appreciate it, with a little help for our Florida trip.
Excellent.
Thank you, Ren Mulberry. You're a good lady.
Yay.
You're good. Kiss your good lady for me.
And don't write about sports.
Sorry, I didn't expect that to go a whole segment, but I needed to vent that.
Yes, you did.
That was the world's longest ticket commercial.
I am very, very sorry. God, what happened to the time?
Score big, baby.
We'll take a break. Come back with more. This is the Mike O'Mara Show. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show, everybody. We are on radio stations like WTNT. Got some thoughts on that radio station. And also the mighty AM 1630 KCJJ. WTNT. Let me just a few words about the signal of WTNT.
Oh, good. Sure. I think this is a public service.
I was listening coming out of the district. Okay, the bottom line, inside the Beltway, you're screwed.
Right.
Really, unless you get a good night, with eagles flying around and geese coming in.
Solar flares.
You get about a quarter mile inside the Beltway and all the way out. I'm talking booming.
Wow.
So we're a Northern Virginia.
Awesome.
Very much
we're a Northern
so,
Virginia radio station.
Were you listening to our program on WTNT?
I was listening to our wonderful program
Was
on
it great?
WTNT. It was great.
Was it funny?
And it sounded good.
I love that.
And it's great to be on the radio.
It is.
And we're delighted to be on the radio station with, even the conservative folks I can tolerate.
Mr. Parks.
Mr. Parks, who's an old radio guy, been around for a million years. Nice to be on that radio station. So, really, if you're somebody that commutes to the outer areas, I'm talking specifically right now to your Route 66 commuters.
Sure.
You hop off that Beltway on Route 66, pop us on, and enjoy your commute.
We'll keep you company.
Because you're sitting in that traffic, and believe me, it is wall-to-wall from 7 o'clock till 8 o'clock. Please give us a listen.
That is, I think, in 3.5 years, nearly the jivest thing Oscar has ever said on this podcast.
What's that?
We'll keep you company.
We'll keep you company, everybody.
No, it's true.
Like an old radio guy.
No,
It was like sitting next to Casey Kasem for a
This
second.
segment of the program brought to you by Pro Flowers. The countdown is on. Valentine's Day, just 7 days a week. So go to Pro Flowers. Now, when you go to the website at Pro Flowers, as I did this morning, you will see a giant...
Oh, should I look for something at my door?
Yes, Rob. You will see a giant microphone in the upper right-hand corner, and put our code in there, TMOS. It'll get you 100 blooms of love and a free glass vase for just $19.99. And with the TMOS code, you can double. You don't double the blooms, but you get a tremendous deal and 50% off. And that's really the time of year you want to get that Valentine's Day. Another $10 gets you a spa kit and gourmet chocolates. Use our code. You cannot miss that microphone in the upper right-hand
click
corner.
it.
I used it today. I was happy to do it. 800 Pro Flowers. That's the number to call. Or click the microphone at proflowers.com. You will not beat that price. And it's Valentine's Day. This is the time we tell you about all this stuff. Do it all.
Do it.
And get it done. Go to proflowers.com. Use our code TMOS.
Do
All
it.
right.
The flowers will keep you company.
So it's I'm just giving an honest assessment of WTNT and what it sounds like. All right, where do we go from here? We've covered
Well, we
Quench.
went
I want to
the
hear
car
about your
show.
date.
What's that?
I want to hear about your date.
We'll get to that really briefly. Before that, simple. I conquered the ink monster last night. Play video games at 53, and I beat the ink monster.
How'd you do it?
Simple perseverance.
That's
Attaboy.
That's right.
Simple
terrific.
perseverance.
How many hours?
Oh, if I added up the total, like on a level,
Shameful.
on one little section of a level,
Embarrassing.
So, I did it, and I'm not telling anybody how I did it.
It's
Okay, good
Far
for
Cry
you.
3.
And the good thing, I couldn't find any cheat codes, and I looked at some strategy, but nobody gave me any help. I did this simply by doing it and doing it and
You
doing
did it your way.
I did it my way.
Did you
Great when he finally falls
did
down.
Did you get the girl?
Here's the thing.
Oh, is that what you said to her?
Mark had showed me a segment where there's some. It looks
Yeah.
like they're getting jiggy with it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But this was not that. But I think I have to do other things in the future to get.
Sure.
But she did. She did take off the top.
Yeah.
And
Congratulations.
But
big
she's
guy.
got body painting on over the most important part.
Sponsored by Viagra.
And here's the thing: if
I
it's-
felt filthy.
Sure.
But if it's a computer generated,
wonder.
if it's a computer generated hooker anyway, does the body paint make any difference?
Well, no, it was well done. The whole thing was well done.
Well done.
Yes, and well done by you. Good on you, as they say.
I
Mike.
think, and the character's name is Citra. And I will tell you that I think there may be further encounters with her down the road. So
maybe later on her name will be Standa.
I just I'm enjoying. Jesus, I am enjoying this game, and I mean for hours. I mean, I've never had a video game that's lasted this long.
Wow. Sexually arousing.
Thank you, Marcus.
Congratulations.
Might have to cut that microphone a little bit. But anyway, it's
Have they fit different after you play a video game?
it's great. I had my date with Oscar at the auto show yesterday.
Now, did you lunch before that?
No, we dinnered afterwards.
Oh, okay. How nice.
We dined afterwards.
Al
and,
fresco.
You take it away, Oscar. I mean, I thought the auto show. Oscar and I kind of vibed the same way on the actual auto show itself.
I think it's a great experience.
It's a great experience, but the sameness.
Oscar's World.
Yes.
Burn
The
that tape.
sameness. The sameness of American autos.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty
well,
obvious when you see them all under one
Except
roof.
for, this is the thing. When I was younger, I used to go every year with my father. And I like going to the auto show because I'm a car guy.
Yes.
But I guess the shine and the experience that is the auto show isn't what it is today in today's media world, because if you're a car guy, you've seen like a dozen videos already.
You've seen all the cars.
Of these cars. The
Right.
one car that I actually liked looking at and I hadn't seen up close was a Lincoln, because Lincolns just came out, the new models just came out like 3 or 4 months ago.
And also, Oscar really likes this car.
But outside of it, I feel like the best reason to go to the auto show if you don't have kids is to really compare cars.
Yeah.
To narrow down the type of car you want to test drive when you're done, instead of going to 10 dealerships.
Do they have any fancy, like, over-the-top cars?
They have you. Are you talking about concept cars?
Yeah.
Not
a few.
Not as many as I wanted to see.
Yeah, not as many as when
Would you do better off if you just went to Todd's house?
in past auto shows.
Yeah. I didn't see Tesla. Did
No,
you
Tesla
see Tesla?
wasn't there, no.
We saw Fisker. Yeah. And it's the Fisker is always.
And they didn't have the Corvette Stingray there anymore.
Really?
I don't
Fisker.
know. I don't know if they shipped it to Joe Flacco because he won it.
Yeah, that's
but
right.
they didn't have it anymore, so you couldn't see that. But they had the AMG Gullwing, the new Mercedes.
Yep.
That beautiful car. So they had the Lexus supercar. But you've seen I feel like we've seen them on TV. You've seen them on the web so much that
It's so funny you bring up
it's
the
different.
Lincoln. They did 10 minutes on the new Lincoln on CBS Sunday Morning. It was
Yeah.
essentially a commercial. After seeing the Lincoln in person, is it as impressive as they're painting it to be?
It is, but there's something that I'll always love, and I think people that have been in town cars before or have driven town cars, that shape of the Lincoln Town Car, which a lot of people think is outdated now.
Yeah, it's
and
iconic,
Yeah, and
I think.
they don't make it anymore. You can't buy the old
Right.
Lincoln Town Cars
Right.
anymore. I still, when I see that town car, I think of an executive car.
Classic.
Sure, yeah.
So it's going to take a
Classic.
little while. While the new styling is bold and different and it's
Right,
nice,
yeah.
it's going to take a little while for me to get used to seeing the new Lincolns on the
Very-
road.
very
I
high-tech.
found maybe it's because we've seen them and we see more cars
We're
and we see
inundated.
things online. I walked around and there's just nothing. I'm looking for that moment where you turn a corner and go, "Hey, what's that?" And you're not going to get that anymore.
No.
You're not going to get that with anything that
Because they can't do a rollout anymore.
You're not going to get that from anything the American consumer can purchase.
Fiat had a cool setup.
Yeah, they had a little track there because
could
they're
actually-
so tiny.
You could drive the Fiats inside the convention center.
Exactly.
Around
Can
like
I
Little
park
Rock
this
City.
here? This
And
is a
that was
nicer
cool.
car.
Until
Were
they
those
break
people?
down.
Were those people off the floor?
They're off the floor.
driving the
Yes.
Fiats.
There was a little line.
We should have
forming.
tried that.
I hope they've improved. I owned a Fiat once. I hope they're better now.
We should have tried
I heard
that.
they're amazing.
Well, they're very unique, and
I
they've got
spent-
a good marketing campaign.
I spent every weekend working on the carburetor.
but they had a track in the middle of the auto show.
This is cool.
But that's
And-
only because you don't know how carburetors work.
Exactly.
And it had complete with stop signs, and you had people doing it. See, if I'd done that, that would have been good for the show. We hop into the Fiat.
We had a great
Dial
time.
911! Dial 911! Sorry, spokesmodel.
You did sign the release, right?
And if you got a bun in the oven and you're looking for maybe an SUV,
Someone was. Someone was comparison shopping.
you can compare all the SUVs you want.
The plan is,
Yes.
Mrs. O'Mara has one of those small SUVs.
Sure.
and her lease expires in August. And Mr. O'Mara has a sedan that he has had for a number of years.
I just picture you like Hugh Beaumont. This is my sedan.
This is my sedan.
This is my sedan. I use it to go to the office.
And Mrs. O'Mara works across the street.
Right.
Literally a 60-second walk to her office.
Right.
Mr. O'Mara works in his home.
That's right.
So Mr. and Mrs. O'Mara are giving some thoughts to becoming a single-car family.
I thought you were going to
That
say
would
bicycles.
make sense.
And
Mike O'Mara goes green.
And one and one makes two, and baby makes three. Mr. and Mrs. O'Mara believe that a family truckster is in the
Sure,
cards.
yeah, of course.
So Mr. O'Mara, I don't know why I'm saying this.
I enjoy this
Who is
story.
this? Who is
Mr.
this
O'Mara
Mr.
was
O'Mara?
looking for a unique sport utility vehicle that would fit my needs, and the problem I have is with SUVs, and I think all SUVs should know this. I think they're either too big or too small. When we were looking at SUVs yesterday, we said that a lot.
Yeah.
We would get into
We'd
one and
get
go,
in.
yeah, look at this thing, it's a tank. And then you'd get in the other one and go, look at the back seat. You can't put three people
do it,
back
right.
there.
Happy
and you can't
medium.
put my two. And Oscar kept going, you can't fit your $2 in a baby back here. and so, so we're going back and forth. Every car we'd be in. No, you're not going to be able to get three. You won't get three adults back here.
Because Mike has, and God bless you. I
Yes.
know your ego and the man you are. And
But
the
I'm
man,
so much older than
and
you
the
are.
man-
When
and the
we're
man-
walking around and I'm getting in and out
No.
of cars,
That's
and I'm
true.
going,
At any point, did he have to help you in and out of the cars?
no, I did. At one point, Mike had to have a seat.
Of course.
Mike grabbed a Gatorade low calorie and had a seat.
Like Diana Ash.
Mike likes
wow.
Mike likes things
Is that
sexy
bus
and
again?
sleek.
What's that?
Sexy and sleek.
Right.
That's what you like.
I will tell you, I'm tipping my hand here, but after looking at 50 SUVs in all different sizes, I may have settled on a particular style of car, and it wasn't because I was with Oscar.
The Hummer?
That's your hint.
Is it
no,
made-
it's not the Hummer, Serta.
Is it made in this nation?
No, it is not.
You go to hell.
Now, why do you say that?
Don't
why do
you
you
love
say,
this country?
What, are you still on that Buy American
Yes.
thing?
That's all he does.
They probably manufacture them here.
Yeah, it's true.
It's just the brand name is not from this world, from
Is
this
it-
country.
From this
rather.
country.
Does it start with a T?
No, it does not.
Starts with an N, I'll bet.
T. What did you think it was?
Toyota.
No, it's not a Toyota.
Is it a? Oh, does
Great
it start
car.
with an H?
No, it does not.
Honda, great cars.
I would think Nissan.
No.
Does it start with an R? Is it the Rolls Royce?
Oh,
We saw that.
how about that Bentley
Yeah,
convertible?
that's
Oh,
the
my
one
God.
car that stopped
Someday.
you in your
How about-
tracks.
There's this Bentley, and you think of Bentley as being these big, huge boat
Yeah,
cars
right,
that
right.
that the old billionaires drive.
Yes.
There's this little Bentley. It's like a little one but it's a convertible. I mean, not little, but it's for a
No,
Bentley. It's
yeah.
little.
It's 3 feet long.
Could you see that like rolling along the streets of Beverly Hills?
Yes, absolutely. I think
That
I think
car-
Paris Hilton probably owns one.
Oh, it was amazing.
Rodeo, no.
It was a
Sticker on it, was it 200?
Who knows?
We don't even look.
They
This is
have
where
a-
we just walk by.
Oh, you just walked on by.
But if we wanted to look at those up close, they won't let you.
No.
They have these cordoned off. You can't touch these.
great on
That
wash.
pissed me off about the auto
Well,
show.
sure, what's the
The
point?
auto show is like you go out there, you can touch all the other cars, and they have these little guys with dust rags going around and dusting them off. But you couldn't do that with the high end cars. It's like, I
Mr.
want to see
O'Mara,
that.
Mr. O'Mara, you're going to have to stop laying on the Bentley.
Mike, it's appointment only.
Yeah.
that's
Screw
horrible.
that.
That's horrible.
No, I didn't settle because I haven't made a
No,
decision.
but you liked.
Don't
But I
settle.
kind of liked the Audi. The biggest Audi SUV was smaller than the biggest of
The
some of the
Q7.
other ones, and it was really kind of a. Was that a Q7?
Yes, it was.
Oh, okay, I don't think I'm in that market.
That's a
No, but you can get a news Q7.
A newsed?
Yes.
All right, maybe
Does
a
the
news
license
one.
plate twill back in?
No, no,
That's
no.
an
But
add-on.
that.
But it was kind of like, hey, this is the right size, low to the ground, kind of looks cool. And I said, this might be something. But some of these boats,
Is it
like,
one of the ones that's like half SUV, half station wagon, like a Touareg?
No, this was all SUV.
This was all SUV,
But I
okay.
was looking at,
Mid-size,
you
right.
look at some of these other ones, and they haven't really all the cars. Oscar,
Yeah.
my impression was. American cars, yes, they innovate, but they innovate slowly. You know what I mean? You don't see any.
They've come a long way.
There's some concept cars
Yeah.
that look pretty cool.
And Mike, he's got a crossover on his own. One, he gets recognized because he's such a celebrity.
So did you.
No, because I was with you. And then two,
that was a big Owen Dukes guy that we saw that listened to both shows.
yeah,
But then there was the guy that asked if this was Carla.
But the first guy we met a big guy, and he was a huge fan of the show. And we did.
Great.
I think we
Yeah.
had 3 celebrity
It was-
sightings
it
at
was
the
cool.
auto show.
It was
It
That's
fun to
nice.
do.
That's always
But-
nice.
Nice.
aside from that, Mike looks like a rich white guy. So anytime he looks at a nice car, guys approach him. Anytime I look at a car, they like walk away because they clearly know I'm just looking.
I wasn't hipping to that at all.
Oh yeah.
Did
you see the Mercedes guy? He didn't even look at me. He went straight to you, rich white guy.
Yeah.
Older. I think that's
when Oscar approached the Mercedes, they adjusted the security cams.
Yeah. The doors went
chunk, chunk, chunk.
just locked. I was like, I guess can't look inside this car.
You know, I did have two.
True
I only
story.
had two. But the guy that came in, you know, I felt that way. I felt as though he was giving me more attention. But I'm not.
And
a
how's
rich
your
white guy.
haberdash?
And he walks over and goes, "Yeah, well, you want me to tell you about the car?" And then the Mercedes guy was just like, "Here's my card."
Yeah.
And
It's called Mercedes leather.
yeah, and you know, it was fun. We spent at least 2 hours
A
there.
great day. And then bonus time after the show.
Well, and this is really, you know, after walking, and I'd done 35 minutes on the elliptical.
And Mike got
wow.
pissed at me and left me at my lot and then parked further away from me.
Yeah,
remember that?
Because Oscar wants to park, 6 miles away, and I'm like, no, screw that. I want to, and then Oscar still beat me into the venue.
Wow.
So probably technically Oscar parked about the same distance away.
A lot
But
of
I don't
walking
like.
was
It's a
involved.
DC Convention Center. You know, when did the entire city of Washington D.C. become a construction site?
Always.
All of it, you know,
constantly.
And and so Oscar and I both mistakenly thought, oh, there's parking underneath the convention center. No, of course not. That would be convenient for people. They're not going to do that. In
Have they
DC.
ever? It seems like they used to have parking under
I
it.
don't know.
Does it open up into a larger suite?
I don't know.
Okay.
So we walk on the streets of Chinatown to get something to eat.
And
Because we're famished.
And we were going, and Oscar says, "Oh, you're going to like this restaurant. It's right around the corner here." And so we're heading to around the block, and suddenly we hear this beep beep. And I swear to God, it's Andrew Langer.
No way!
The entire city of Washington
He's
D.C.
everywhere.
It's Andrew Langer. What are they? I mean, the timing has
noted
to be
Asian Andrew Langer hanging out in his hometown.
Langer is there, and I just can't imagine how many times he circled the block trying to find us.
Oh yeah,
no,
it started at 9 in the morning.
No, you know why this is not a stalking situation? There's no way, because no one knew what our timing was with the outdoor
and no
show.
one certainly expected you to go to Chinatown.
No, and so we saw Langer. I'm like, Andrew, how are you? Andrew hung out, and we had dinner with Andrew Langer.
Did you have Chinese food?
No, we had American food, and I have to ask you this.
Yes.
I think Oscar was an eyewitness to why I am the size I am, and why he is the why he is the size.
Really?
He is. Well, we ate pretty much the same foods, but I would say I ate 50% more food than
Oh,
you did.
absolutely.
And that's probably why. I thought about that on the drive home. I mean, you're a little guy. You don't require as many calories.
No, I
but-
wanted them.
But this food...
I wanted them.
Where did you go? Do you care to name the place?
Sure, go
Yeah,
ahead. What's the-
Matchbox.
Ah.
Mike had never been.
Matchbox, little trendy little joint. And
Do they sell small cars there?
They sell so small little burgers.
Oh, tiny burgers.
Oh,
The
but
sliders,
sliders that
yeah.
were the best I have ever had
love
anywhere, anyhow. I mean, phenomenal. You know,
Yum.
when you make a burger anytime in a restaurant that's small and actually you can see the meat inside and you
Yeah.
can see that it's medium rare, that to me is a very cool experience.
That's tough to do with something that size.
So we had burgers. I had soup. We
What kind of soup?
Yeah, what kind?
we had
Zupa?
pizza. I'll have cream of crab.
Wow, I bet it was.
I was
great.
hungry. It was a long day. We had had a cold walk. I ate. There was a little pizza involved.
But there was a moment that
and then
you-
there was chocolate chip bread pudding. and
my.
Oh, wow.
And what was the other thing? Apple crisp.
So
Wow, you doubled on desserts.
I've always known.
Well, we had three guys at the table.
Oh,
We
that's right.
shared
Yeah,
like old queens.
Mike. Mike B.
Langer, are you going to have your bread pudding? You hunk?
Mike was in full control for the car show because there was hot dogs, there was
Yep.
everything there.
Yep.
You could have
Good-
you got a
good man.
Gatorade for the walk, no big
It
deal.
was in my mind.
Yeah, I knew it was because I saw you looking at the menu. And he says, "Are you sure you don't want anything?" I said, "No, let's just get a drink and go." So we get to the restaurant.
you don't want anything, Oscar?
Actually, the Mercedes guy came up and said, "Sir, would you like to see the interior of the car?" He said, "Do you have cookies? Are there cookies in the car?"
When Mike ordered the 2 desserts instead of the one for himself.
For the table.
No. You ordered them for yourself.
I ordered the two
No,
desserts
no,
for
no.
three
And
guys.
be honest, Mike, I've done this too. When you order for the table,
Yes.
it's because you want to have them both.
That's right.
Not eat them
do
in
it.
their entirety.
I was really hungry.
You had no intention of eating either in its entirety.
No,
but you
that's
couldn't-
true. Right.
But you wanted to try both.
Although I did put a pretty good. Langer had like 2 bites of that apple crisp. I ate most of it.
Yeah, well, that's all
That
right.
was it. But boy, you know what? That's a wonderful restaurant.
What a great restaurant.
And it was so. I mean, were you hungry? You were hungry
I
by
was
the
hungry,
time
yes.
we got
I was
there.
hungry.
And it's-
Not as hungry as you were, but I was hungry.
I thought of that as I was driving home. I'm a pig meister. We'll take a break. Come back with more of the Mike O'Mara Show. And anybody want dessert?
Yes, please.
Order it for the show, Mike.
We'll be right back. Oh, man. I ate so much I was blind. Speaking of blindness. What? No, I'm sorry. No. This segment of the program is brought to you by Warby Parker.
Warby.
Stop paying iPhone prices for prescription eyeglasses. You can get better looking glasses for a fraction of retail. And one of the things I want to mention about Warby Parker, not only do you get to try on 5 pairs and pick the ones you want, not only do they start at $95. What's that?
5 pairs, Mike.
5 pairs.
I'm just saying 5 pairs. It's great.
I said 5 pairs.
I know. No, I didn't mean to distract you. I meant to augment it.
But not only do they start at $95, which you'll pay $500-$600 for glasses in one of the retail stores, but when they say fashion forward, they mean it. I thought these glasses, to me, were fashion forward more than the regular ones you see.
Handsome, contemporary.
When I put on my sunglasses that I got, Julia said, wow. Because you know what? That matters to her. And she's never seen me in like cool guy sunglasses. She says, wow, you look great.
It's Warby Parker. This is a website you have to check out. Every pair comes complete with anti-glare, anti-reflection coatings, polycarbonate lenses, no extra cost. You can try up to 5 pairs with free shipping, and you find the right pair for you. Go to warbyparker.com, you select your 5 favorites, and get even faster free shipping when you enter that magical code that makes your life better, TMOS, everybody. Try them for 5 days. Keep your favorite and send the rest back again with free shipping. We have all ordered our glasses from Warby Parker, and we
I have
love
mine.
them.
I'll bring them in on Monday.
Awesome.
Oh my God, I can't wait.
Details. Shut up, Rob.
That
Details
was really good.
at warbyparker.com. Use the code TMOS. He's a commercial terminator, isn't he?
He can't help himself.
Go to warbyparker.com.
Not the commercial I hate.
Use the code TMOS and get fast free shipping. And now it is time. Is it time?
I think
Do you
it
want
is.
to?
Is it time for your audio vault?
It is.
All right, let's open it up, and I will do to you in the audio vault what you do to me during
Oh,
commercials.
excellent. What could go
So
wrong?
just like every other show.
No, I don't interrupt normally.
Do you know what a mondegrin
You know, I
is?
was wondering just the other day.
What, Mike?
No, just go ahead.
I got nothing but time.
Go ahead.
Do you know what a mondegrin is?
A mondegrin?
Yeah.
I think I've got one under my arm.
No, a mondegrin is when something is said, but you hear something different.
Oh,
it's a
okay, like my
misunderstanding. And maybe. And a website called BuzzFeed.com. I like musical lists. Here are some classic mondegrins, misunderstood song lyrics.
Oh, yes.
And even if they're stupid, once you hear what some people think they are, you're never going to hear these songs the same way again. The song Blue by Eiffel 65. Many people think this song says, I'm blue. If I was green, I was die. Let's go to the tape.
I'm blue, I've been deed, I've been died, I've been deed, I've been died, I've been deed.
Yeah, I'm blue. If I was green, I would die. The actual lyric is, and it's now better, I'm blue, ba da bee da da bee.
Oh,
See, that's what it sounds like to
I
me.
hear bada bee da
Do you
da
really?
dee.
Let's go to that again, okay?
I'm blue, I've been deed, I've been died, I've been deed,
I hear that I'm green.
I hear the green thing too, yeah.
You know, I might be going out on a limb here, but
Yes.
I think that tune is catchy.
It is. It is very catchy.
It was in
Thank you.
1995.
And you know, it's
play it
another
all the
catchy
time.
song from old school, Mike, is Madonna's Like a Virgin. And I hear this when I hear these lyrics. Is it saying that she's like a virgin touched by the 31st time?
No.
I hear that clear as a bell.
I
Very
can hear it.
first time.
I can definitely hear 31st
Do you
there.
think
Wow.
it's Mark? Do you think it's because we are? And I'm not. You know, that we're kind of musical.
Yes.
and you've
It's very
sung.
possible, yeah.
I hear
It
it
is.
clear as a bell.
There's actually studies out there that people that can't read or not necessarily read music, but they can't remember lyrics to songs,
Right.
They because they don't have that musical aptitude.
Okay, and so they'll
You
hear
guys
something
can,
else.
yeah.
Okay.
This is a great one here. This is the Manfred Mann's Earth Band.
Oh, yeah.
They do not say wrapped up like a douche, but I challenge you not to hear them
It does
say
sound like
wrapped
This
up
one I
like a
might.
douche.
You might
Blinded by the light, wrapped up like a douche, another on a
that's wrapped up like a douche.
Yeah,
Actually, if you go to the sheet music, what he's saying is
Deuce.
revved up like a deuce.
but he does sing the SH.
yeah.
Yeah, because he's doing that. I wear my sunglasses at night.
Right,
thing.
right.
But so now you will always hear the word douche.
blinded by the light, wrapped up like a douche, another
I really like that song.
Yeah.
Manfred Mann, Earth Band.
And is
Lick
it-
it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's a great song.
I like that song. I also like Do What Did
I
It.
just hate Manfred Mann, Earth Band.
He was the least successful
It
hero
has
at
Earth
the
in
Hall
it.
of Justice.
Hey, Mon. I could hear that dude like in the day. You know, saying,
Manfred
hey, Mon,
Mann?
come over to the flat. We're getting the Earth Band together.
Creedence Clearwater Revival, Mike.
I like Creedence.
Creedence Clearwater Revival. There's a bathroom
Yeah.
on the right.
Yeah.
If you need to take a leak, Mike, it'd be useful advice.
Bad Moon.
I know,
Moon
but
on the rise.
I think that people that were listening to this song in the late 60s on bad radios could have definitely heard There's a Bathroom on the Right.
Bad Moon on the Rise.
Now, this is my favorite, and that's why it's at number one. I really do think Jimi Hendrix could say, "Excuse me while I kiss this guy."
Excuse me while I kiss this guy.
This is
Yeah.
Clear, Kiss the Sky.
Oh, he's definitely.
Now,
definitely
the,
kissing a
the
guy.
other one is the Christmas song that we play every year, which is a great example of
Yes.
Later we'll have some
I
pumpkin
saw
pie.
Mommy. Later we'll have some pumpkin pie.
Yeah, and then when we put the bleep in it, it's really, really.
Especially since she sings
That's
pumpkin.
interesting.
Yeah.
Instead
I
of
like that.
pumpkin.
You like that?
Did she say pumpkin?
Yeah,
Pumpkin.
pumpkin. And that's why it sounds dirty.
Yes. Well, excuse me while I kiss this
Pumpkin
guy.
you.
Those are mondegrins, Mike, and I think they're
Yay.
fascinating. Now, Kai, the surfer.
Ah, yes.
He's had a lot of action on our show, and Kai will actually be on the bonus show that drops.
Yeah, the
today.
bonus show. If you want to hear this guy, listen. There's nothing we could do. You can't edit this and make it listenable. When you hear the unedited version of Kai, it is one of the best real actuality tapes we've played in a very long time.
I loved it.
Complete with all the F words. You want to hear that? Go to MikeO'MaraShow.com and check out our bonus hour this week just to hear.
Great
The bonus
show.
hour this week is worth it just to hear Kai.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we play a stupid game. But if you want to hear Kai,
If you like to hear us hate each other,
oh, we are bickering.
argue and fight.
yeah,
and
it's a
bickering.
good one.
We are not.
It's a
playing.
great show.
Of course, they auto-tuned Kai. They always auto-tune tapes like this.
I'm smashing this guy right there.
Thank you for keeping it brief.
Thank you.
Also, the reporter that first interviewed Kai tracked him down 5 days later and did another interview with him. And I was disappointed because I think why Kai was so great originally, he had all the excitement, all the adrenaline.
yeah.
And now let me tell you this is my prediction. What you're going to hear now is the normal Kai who is down and out.
Right.
Who really isn't motivated for life. The adrenaline's not there.
Right.
The adrenaline is probably gotten for Kai when he gets his next score.
Right.
And Kai's probably sound like quite a dullard,
Now,
right?
what they did, which was stupid, is they interspersed this with clips of the excited Kai. But you're going to hear the real Kai here.
okay.
So here's Kai on his newfound fame.
Seeing as you don't live a stereotypical normal life, Kai, you don't work 9 to 5 behind a desk, you don't have a smartphone. Are you aware of what you've become on the internet and around the world, really?
I can't call it. I had to pirate some internet over at the Comfort Inn there, but yeah, I've seen it. I can't call it.
Your thoughts on it?
Shock and awe.
Wow.
Hey, at least
Subdued.
He's dumb.
At least he gave us a little
Shock and awe.
a little Kai.
Yeah.
Shock
Right,
and awe.
right.
Now, do you remember the name, Mike? I love these internet sensations. Do you remember Sweet Brown?
She was the
I got bronchitis.
Was she this lady?
Nobody got time for that.
Precisely. Let's go to the original tape of Sweet Brown because I do have a point about that.
Well, I woke up to go get me a cold pop. And then I thought somebody was barbecuing.
Barbecue.
I said, oh, Lord Jesus, it's a fire. Then I ran out. I didn't grab no shoes or nothing, Jesus. I ran for my life. And then the smoke got me. I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Now, Sweet Brown, of course, lives in Oklahoma City.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Right.
But nearby in Tulsa,
Ain't nobody got time for that.
they have hired her to do a commercial.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Now, do you remember what Sweet Brown looks like?
I don't have the time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Because I'm not so sure that the verticals really make sense to hire her to do a commercial for a dentist office.
Oh,
no.
Let's go to the spot, okay?
Sweet Brown, can you tell us what happened?
Well, I woke up to go get me a cold pop, and then I realized my tooth was hurting. Then I said, oh, Lord Jesus, it's a toothache. Ain't nobody got time for that. So I called Shoreline Dental, and they got me in the same
Why is
day.
she pitched
I
up?
got time for that.
That's her.
I think she's.
No, I mean that's pitched.
I think she's overacting.
Yeah.
I do too.
And I think her voice is just getting higher
Ain't nobody
because
got
of
time
it.
for that.
No, but even the interviewer sounds like Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
Then maybe they might have pitched up the whole spot.
No, listen to it, guys. You know this. Listen to it.
Sweet Brown, can you tell us what happened?
Sweet Brown, tell me what happened.
Then they might have sped up the entire spot.
You think?
But
you didn't hear that?
Didn't pay that much attention to her voice, Mike.
Okay.
Doesn't matter that much
this
to me.
This is her voice.
Yes.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Right.
However, this does reinforce one of my key things that I've stuck to my entire life. Never go to a doctor that has a jingle.
Put your dental care on the right track. Sure Guy Dental.
Everybody got time for that.
Now that sounds like in between pitch.
Yeah.
The whole thing. Did you see the video of it?
I did. The video seemed to be at the right speed, but then some of it's done in voiceover too, so you never can tell.
Do you think they might have given her any free dental work to do that commercial?
If they did, it was after the shoot.
Okay.
Let us close. Oh, I will tell you this. I'll just play this briefly. Al Roker kissed Willie Geist on the lips this week.
It was as much as those guys can be smarmy. Rob hit me to this because Rob watches the Today Show and NBC religiously. It's the one show that he never misses, and he is a student of the show. And Rob hit me to this guy, Willie Geist, having kind of he looked like such a doughboy, smarmy dude, but he is evolving into quite the confident and competent TV broadcaster, and I'm liking the guy, too.
He has a lot of comfort, and he's good on there, and he gives people crap. But what happens, this was a couple's gift, and it's a tube of lip balm. One is peach flavored, and one is cream flavored.
And he does a kiss with Roker, and I thought it was funny television.
So let us close with Al Roker kissing Willie Geist on this good-looking audio vault, Mike.
Yep. You've got the peaches,
Okay.
I've got the cream.
And so we go cut to commercial.
Not the bar. Do we agree it's not a bar Raffaele situation?
No, not at all.
Just a light touch, right? Peaches and cream.
Absolutely.
Delicious.
Yeah, it was the first interracial kiss on NBC since Star Trek.
And I found it titillating.
Hey, that's your Magic Audio Vault. Have a great weekend, everybody.
We'll take a break and come back with buzz and news. This is the Mike O'Mara Show.
I know you get to like it.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. We are so delighted to have you with us. And without further ado, let's get to what is always, in my opinion, his best newscast of the week, because he puts some very interesting stuff in it.
It's usually the third best.
You think it's his third best?
Yeah, I think so. I love Tuesdays.
He'll be the judge of that.
Keep expectations low.
Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, Buzz Burbank.
Thank you, Mike. We're brought to you today by her Valentine's Day gift headquarters for him, the Mike O'Mara Show Amazon page. Right now, save up to 75% on select watches, plus specials on electronics and sexy silk boxers. Save another 20% when you use your Amazon rewards card. You'll find men's outerwear, colognes, and so much more when you shop at the Mike O'Mara Show Amazon store. Visit and bookmark the Amazon page at MikeO'MaraShow.com today.
A lot of you going to be shopping this weekend for your special somebody to get that Valentine's delivery, and this is a wonderful weekend to help the show. Please do that for us. We'd appreciate it.
And we thank you. Today, a lot of Americans on each of our coastlines were told to stay indoors, but for very different reasons. The northern third of our east coast is under attack from nature again this time. A snowstorm that could bury some spots in 3 feet or more of snow and bring hurricane-force winds to places not yet recovered from the last actual hurricane.
I wrote this down today. Is it silly to be just a little jealous?
Not at all.
Not at all. It's very silly.
It's Friday. It is silly.
Yeah, I think so.
I know.
This would be such a great day to get a blizzard.
It would be a Friday night.
Well, it's true.
And you're sitting there and you hunker down. You get all the stuff. You get all the family in there, and I get to use my snowblower.
Right. Wouldn't have to go to Julia's
So
school
there's
tonight.
Yeah, we're gonna. You got to go to a family thing.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah, it's a screening of Star Wars in the auditorium to raise funds.
Are you enough of a Star Wars fan but it'll be a high school projector
I can
version.
watch my Blu-ray at home and have a much better experience. Than
Let us know
watching
what
it.
it's like without surround sound.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be great.
Turn it up! On the West Coast in Southern California, police and citizens were under attack from a crazed cop. So there are your two coasts. Now we begin with the storm bearing down on Boston, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and much of New England. Drivers there were told to be off the roads by noon as blizzard warnings went up. It's being called a potentially historic storm, the worst of its kind in 35 years, maybe the worst ever. The forecast called for snow falling at up to 4 inches an hour, with some thunder and lightning thrown in for good measure.
That is amazing to think about. Now, Marcus,
Thunder
you're
love
from
thunder snow.
Burlington, Vermont, where that kind of snowfall is not really that completely unusual. But this, for major cities, it is. But you've been you've gotten 2-footers up there, right?
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. It was about 5 years ago when we got 3.5 feet in one day.
And
so we get them. The unusual part, as he said right there in his news, is that lightning storm. That's what always throws me off, because you have this beautiful snow coming down, and then all of a sudden there's lightning and thunder, and you just feel like you need to take cover.
And no matter where you are, 2 feet of snow is going to paralyze everything.
Of course it will.
It doesn't matter who you are, what part of the country you're going to have to deal with it. And Boston, a major city, New York, it's going to be crazy.
But we're down for 24 hours. You guys will be down for an entire week and a half.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, it happens all, 4 inches
yeah.
an hour. That is some snow coming down hard. That's ridiculous.
Now, in SoCal, people are staying indoors for a different reason. The manhunt continued for a former Los Angeles cop, once known for being intelligent and kind. But 33-year-old Chris Dorner apparently had a psychotic break after being dismissed from the force and ending his service with the Naval Reserves. Sunday, he began a killing spree, taking out 3 people he felt had wronged him. Yesterday, he was shooting at cops, killing one and wounding another. His burned-out truck was found in Big Bear, California, where the manhunt intensified. He left behind a long and bizarre manifesto in which he declared war on the LAPD, but included surprisingly positive comments about pop culture, including congratulating Ellen DeGeneres for bringing humanity to entertainment. Police said Dorner is considered armed and extremely dangerous.
You know, it's sad, and the guy is obviously mentally ill. At the same time,
a loss for all
you
of
know,
us.
I think when you get a circumstance like this, as much as he is the guilty party, and there is no question that he is, and he's caused a lot of harm, I believe it will be necessary for the powers that be that dealt with this guy to really take a good hard look at how
I
they
hope
handled
they
him,
do.
because you know there were some legitimate beefs that this guy had, and I just like to see I'm fascinated by this. When this all comes to an end, I'd like to see the real story and see the whole story about how the LAPD handled this guy.
Yeah, I hope they learn from
because they don't have a track record as a stellar operation.
No, they do not.
Right.
Technology takes over. A new report says before this year is out, there will be more mobile devices on the planet than there are humans. By year's end, there'll be 7. Exactly right.
I love how.
Yeah, I thought of that too. There'll be 7 billion smartphones and tablets as they spread throughout Asia, and many of the devices will be used for tracking, surveillance, and automation.
By the way, I got a funny text yesterday. I'm sorry, a message. Someone said, "Have you ever asked Siri to open the pod bay doors, Hal?" It's very funny.
Oh, really?
I won't spoil it for you, but go ahead and ask
so
Siri to
fun.
open the pod bay doors.
Do I say Hal?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
Siri, open the pod bay. That's what Siri. That's what Siri does whenever I work Siri into this effing show.
It's the iPhone 5.
Suck ass Siri.
Do you know why there's going to be more mobile devices than people's? Because everyone's going to throw away their iPhone 5 and replace it.
All right, one more time.
Okay, shh,
All right,
quiet.
here we go. Open the pod pay.
Pod pay.
Hold on. We're running into business news time. Hold on.
Yeah, we got time.
Hold on. Here we go. Open the pod bay doors.
Mike O'Mara is
God damn it! I'm sorry.
the broadcaster.
I'm going to do it one
User error.
last chance I have. Here.
Okay. Here we go.
All right. No, that's the wrong sentence.
Oh, come on.
Shut up! If you with your come on, you just
You're not helping. You want to help? Don't help.
open the pod bay doors, Hal.
But the cat will get out.
But the cat will get out.
Oh, I got yesterday. What she said to me was, "Oh no, are we going to go through that again?"
Oh, okay.
So maybe there's several answers.
That was worth it.
We can always edit that out
And
if
now-
we needed to.
Thanks, Rob. Now back to the news.
There's a traffic problem with all these devices. Although smartphones make up less than 20% of all these devices, they use 92% of the bandwidth. And when you factor in tablets, data use is expected to more than double every year for the foreseeable future. In Chicago, a cop suing for overtime pay says he earned by doing mandatory work on his department-issued BlackBerry, and he's made it a class action suit to hopefully benefit other employees who've been forced to work overtime this way. And there's the ethical debate over the drones we mentioned this week. Lawmakers have now gotten a look at the once secret memo uncovered by NBC that explains why it's illegal to kill American citizens suspected of plotting against the government without warrants, formal charges, or trials.
Wow.
NBC is breaking news. Fox is making news. A house cleaning underway at the Not News channel after a year of falling ratings and a new survey showing a loss of credibility.
Bye, Dick.
Among the firings at Fox, Sarah Palin, her 15 minutes are up. Dick Morris is out after breaking the hearts of Fox viewers.
Hi, Dick Morris.
with the most incorrect election predictions ever made. And we asked, you may recall, what could possibly go wrong when we reported on Florida's open season on pythons. The state even made it a contest for hunters who could bag the biggest snake. Yesterday, rescuers had to use a helicopter to rescue 2 hunters who had come from Tennessee to hunt pythons in the Everglades.
You know what I've done for you for 20 years? You just did it to me.
What's that?
On Monday's show.
Oh, we were going to do the theater?
We will have a playlet on the opening of Monday's show. Rob Spiewak and Mike O'Mara playing the role of the python hunters from Tennessee who became disoriented.
Consider this a setup.
Thank you.
And finally, in Minnesota, a man's been hit with felony charges for attacking his brother while on parole. Hector Alonzo Estrada is accused of kicking his brother in the head after the brother released some pretty foul gas. Police found the accused attacker by following footprints in the snow.
Footprints in the snow.
I'm Buzz Burbank on the Mike O'Mara Show.
Thank you, Buzz. Yeah, we will have that. We'll try to put together a little playlet for you on Monday's show.
I love acting with you, Mike.
The 2 Tennessee python hunters.
Well, it's a hobby, really.
They got lost.
And don't forget that we'll have the lost episode today.
Yay.
That's right, the lost episodes. We never got to it on today's show.
No.
Right. But do we have time to play a clip of the lost episode?
We do not.
No. Sorry about that. Hey, everybody, have a fantastic, safe weekend. If you're traveling to the Northeast, don't.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll have a recap of the storm as well. See you on Monday. Have a fabulous weekend. Marcus Serta, thanks for OmeraCast, and thanks for all you do.
Thank you, Oscar. Will be on this week, so listen in.
See you later. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye-bye, everybody.
It's the bonus show.